Being perfect is not about that scoreboard out there. It's not about winning. It's about you and your relationship to yourself and your family and your friends.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you.
All right, welcome back to the C.O.C. City of the Champions podcast. I am your host, Danny Boy Lax. Alongside is Talar. Talar, how's your fall going?
I've had better falls. Danny, how's yours?
It's not bad. You know, I came back from vacation, getting back at it, but it's been a tough start to our Boston Bruins and Boston Celtics, and we're ongoing with the New England Patriots. Not the best season, I should say, so far, but, you know, we're number one in the AFC East, so it's not horrible, but, you know, we could be doing better. But let's get right into it. We got plenty to talk about after openings for both Celtics, Bruins. Patriots is going on to week 7. So, yeah, loads to talk about. Not just the Patriots, NFL too, also NHL and NBA. But let's get right into it. Let's start off with the Celtics since they just recently started. They've had 2 games already. Sad news. Twitter rant has been going on, and all over the news, Sports Center, everything. Sadly, Gordon Hayward got injured the first night, left leg injury, went into surgery yesterday, Wednesday, October 18th, and we were told it was a successful surgery, so hopefully a good recovery for him and hope to see him back soon and healthy recovery. But besides that, what'd you think of the Celtics' debut of the 2017-2018 season? We got a new team. Isaiah Thomas is gone. The last we talked was what Isaiah Thomas needs to do with these young players, but he's officially gone literally after we talked about it. But we traded him for Kyrie Irving. And what do you think so far? There's only been 2 games, but you know it's a rough start.
So there's a lot to dive in with this, and Kyrie Irving is. I've said it on my NBA show as well. Kyrie Irving is my favorite player in the NBA. So when they traded for him, I was pretty heartbroken for Isaiah, but I was pretty excited for the acquisition of this guy. And it's hard to kind of dig into what they've looked like because they were supposed to look like this team we saw in preseason with Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
And it just breaks your heart. And he dislocated his ankle, and he fractured his tibia, and it was a clean break, so thankfully no ligaments or anything was damaged. There's no timetable.
It just looked so bad on the television.
Yeah, it looked awful. And I can't get Kevin Harlan on ESPN kept screaming Gordon Hayward broke his leg, and I can't get that audio out of my head because he sounded terrified. If you go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
So here's something I kind of want to address with the Kyrie Irving has to be officially the guy now. Kyrie Irving kind of has to learn how to be the guy.
Yeah.
Since he's never done it and he doesn't have Gordon Hayward to rely on. He has to, and I hope everyone is. The team was going to have road bumps anyway, but I hope everyone learns to be patient with these guys because you have a mixture of first, second-year players, one or a few veterans, not many, and then Irving, who's trying to find a way to be a captain, and he's trying to find a way to be a captain for guys who are still really upset about what happened to Gordon Hayward. The first 2 games he hasn't looked amazing, but I think that's him trying to find his ground.
It's already going on the big media companies, NBC, 98.5. It's going everywhere already. 2 games into the season, can't give the guy a chance. Just because, he needs to show leadership, but he's got another leader gone, and he has to step up a little more. But the fans gotta relax. I feel like don't get me wrong, but I just think that like we're such a city that wins all the time that like it's getting our heads like we got Gordon Hayward, we got Kyrie Irving, two big players with the rest of a younger team that they need to step up, and Kyrie Irving like alone now hasn't done that job. But it's only been 2 games, folks. You can correct me, but that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, no, I feel like that too, and I caught some Felger and Maz today, and Felger and Maz are just so out of touch with basketball-wise with some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's been 2 games, where has he been? He hasn't shown anything. It's like, the fact that those guys went out when Gordon Hayward went down and played and almost won that game in Cleveland, I
watched
can't.
I watched 2 games. There's only been 2 games this season,
Yeah.
but I watched
You
both
watched both
games.
of them.
I watched both of them. I'm not usually a Celtics guy. Like I'm always on the Bruins, but the Bruins play tonight. But I was just like it was slow. It was slowly like Cleveland was coming up by like 20 points, I believe, and then by the third or fourth quarter, they're like down by like 3 or 4 points, and it was great. It was great to see. Good, not the obviously we wanted to win, but it was a good start for the season for these young guys.
It is, and Kyrie, when he figures out kind of everything, when everyone kind of figures out the offense, that he's gonna be so good, because he's gonna finally understand where everything goes and how to do everything. I wrote about Jaylen Brown today, and he's been really encouraging. He had 25 points in his debut for the season against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he's going to be super important. And without Gordon Hayward there, you kind of see Kyrie like looking for him, and they're kind of building this kind of chemistry together.
Yeah.
It's super exciting. And he's really aggressive, which really bodes well for him, and that's what's made him so successful. He's athletic, he's aggressive, and they need guys who can go to the basket more, not just shoot jump shots. That Jason Tatum kid, the rookie,
I was just gonna ask about that. I was just gonna jump in about that.
I'm so encouraged by him. So he had 8 points last night, but he also had 9 rebounds, and he had 10 rebounds the night before with 14 points. And so with this Hayward injury, Danny Ainge trading that pick and getting Tatum looks really good because you have a guy who can score points in absence of one of the best players in the league. So there's so much learning that has to happen. It's such a young team, there's so much learning that I hope everyone can just step back and be really patient, because when it works out, and they're too talented and there's too much intellect, like coaching and players, not for it not to work. But, it's going to work. Just give them some time to kind of figure it out.
I'll definitely give them time. Being a growing Celtics fan, not that I never was, but getting better watching. But I'll definitely give them a chance. I hope you others out there, Bostonians, give them a chance. Just relax. They're going to work it out. Gordon Hayward will come back. Just believe in us. We got this. And I don't see why we cannot make a playoff run, even though it's the second game of the season. But I can totally see it. Just build this young team and show them the ropes. Show the way that, show the young guys how to get it done, how to play in the NBA.
Yeah. And I was thinking about this the other day, and imagine if Danny never traded for Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward still went down with that injury. So now you would have no Isaiah Thomas and no Gordon Hayward. What were you supposed to do? That would have been so much worse than just being down one guy.
I completely understand, yeah.
So at least now you still have a point guard. You still have Al Horford, who can kind of... He's really important to me because he's like that guy who just is calm and just has to kind of settle everybody.
Yeah.
He's like that, just steady ship. So he's really important more than ever now because emotionally so many guys don't know what to do, and he has to kind of help them along because he's been doing this for over 10 years. But our thoughts, are with Gordon, and hopefully he does have a really good speedy recovery. We would never want to push him onto the court earlier than he has to be on. So, take your time with that. I think this season this team gets kind of a pass for whatever happens in the postseason. I think so because he's going to be a big absence. But there are some NBA games today. Carmelo Anthony and Paul George debut in Oklahoma City. Chris Paul and the Rockets took down Golden State the other night. There's some injuries happening in the league, which is really upsetting.
Did you hear Charles Barkley's comment about there's not going to be another Golden State and Cleveland final matchup?
I didn't hear that actually.
But I saw something on social media he thinks that there's not going to be another one of those.
It's possible.
I mean, it is possible. It's just tough to see right now.
It is tough, but I've always said it. Cleveland and Golden State are both one injury away from being perfectly beatable.
Yeah.
Draymond Green went down for Golden State the other night and they lost.
Oh wow.
So, excuse me. So if anyone's gonna do it, Houston's gonna do it, or maybe Oklahoma City, depending on what they look like. But I don't know. That's why they play, right? That's why you play 82 games.
So I didn't watch around the NBA, but so a lot of upsets going on throughout the first 3 days now, since the ball dropped. But we'll see what happens. Time can only tell. But I think the Celtics will have an exciting season, and you'll see more victories. Don't let these two losses bring you down, guys.
No.
Have faith in your green.
Yeah, they're gonna be really good. Just give them some time.
Yeah,
work out some kinks. They have an extra roster spot, so our old friend Gerald Green might be back, which is always exciting. 'Cause that veteran scoring guy, he won some games in the playoffs last year for us against Chicago. But I mean, there's a lot that can happen between now and mid-April.
Yeah,
which is when the
long
season
season,
ends.
guys. Long season, folks.
The NBA and the NHL have the longest seasons.
Absolutely.
I know baseball seems long, but if you put it month by month, hockey and basketball are so long and so much changes. There's not one team that starts. And Bill Belichick said this about football the other day. He's like, you don't look the same in week 1 as you do in week 16.
Yeah,
and it's the same with anything.
Yeah,
Yeah. So they'll work through it. It's not a problem. Just don't be impatient about it.
Oh man. So yeah, do you have any thoughts around the NBA? I know you talked about a couple of things.
I mean, Philadelphia some of their kids made the debut last night, and they look good. They lost the game, but that number 1 overall pick, Markelle Fultz, do you remember that? All the hype. Yeah, he's coming off the bench for them, and there's something wrong with his shoulder, or I don't know what it is, but he changed his shooting, and I guess it looks even worse than it used to. I don't know what's going on there, but there's something not right with him.
Uh-oh.
And Danny Ainge may have dodged a bullet with that. May have. But I really like Tatum, so I think he was perfect as a pick. So.
Well, yeah, Tatum showed some potential out there on the first 2 nights.
You got to just shake off some of the anxiety.
Yeah.
Whirlwind for that kid. First 2 NBA games, and your star player goes down, and now everyone wants you to make up for that scoring. That's a lot to ask.
Well, he comes from Duke, so he got high expectation there.
Him and Kyrie,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, why don't we move on to hockey while we're at it?
Yeah. So, when the Bruins first dropped the puck, I was away, so it was tough to see that first game. But so the Bruins right now are 2-3, which is rough start. I'm just not. I'm not happy with my Bruins right now. It's just Torrey Krug with a fractured jaw, but he came back. He was out during practice the first game, and he came back for the weekend. They also lost to the Las Vegas Golden Knights, and I had this discussion with my cast from the neutral zone, and we predicted they were going to lose this game because it's a brand new team, brand new organization, but they had a couple of wins so far. They're looking good right now, and Patrice Bergeron didn't start that opening season with a lower body injury. He's been out for a couple of games. Still unsure if he's playing tonight. He was at practice, but he was gonna wait until time comes. But yeah, Torrey Krug with a fractured job. So my my biggest problem with this team, and I love my Bruins, is Tuukka Rask.
Mm-hmm.
This, get rid of him. There's no, like, I know there's no other goalie out there, but I just think we'll be better off without him. Like, he walked out of practice Wednesday. He had a collision accident with one of the new players. I'm so sick of Tuukka Rask. I just want to get rid of him. I want to, like, the excuses, the lack of playing. I want a new goalie. There's nothing out there, but I really want a new goalie. I can't get enough of Tuukka Rask anymore.
Who's his backup?
Goodobin right now.
I mean, I don't watch enough of. I've never seen enough of him to like really tell. How is he as a goalie?
He doesn't get enough playing time with the Bruins to I can't predict, but he's like I've seen him live in games. He's not horrible, but like if there was something out there, like I would get another goalie in heartbeat. I wouldn't even mind bringing someone up from Providence if that was the case. I'm just so sick of Tuukka Rask. He's been around in our organizations for many years. Like, he was good, like, for a while. Like, we had a playoff run once Tim Thomas left, like, against Chicago. I don't know if you remember that, like, 6 overtime game, because I know, your brother is a big Bruins fan, a big hockey fan, and also Blackhawks fan, and like myself. And that was like a 6 overtimes. Like, that game went until 1:00 in the morning, and like it was good then, but I just can't. Ever since that happened, like Tuukka's been going like such downhill. Like he decent last year. Like, we came into the playoffs, but I just want to move on from him.
Yeah.
So bad.
I've heard that a lot, actually. I've heard that narrative of just like, I don't want Tuukka Rask anywhere near this Bruins team anymore. And it's possible. I personally think it should fall into the whole category of you're trying to rebuild. So
yes,
you should start with also a new goalie.
We said that numerous times throughout the show. Close one door, open a new door. Like, I like some of the new players that we got, like such as Charlie McAvoy. There was a couple other players. I don't have a list here.
It was DeBrusk, right?
DeBrusk, yeah. He was a good player. I think he had a good NHL debut. But I would just like to get everyone healthy again. But it looks like that's not going to happen. Like, Ryan Spooner has a right groin injury, and that will take about 4 to 6 weeks. So.
Yikes.
Tough start for the Boston Bruins.
Yeah, it's been very rough for some of the New England sports this year.
Yes. And also going around the NHL, I did want to bring this up because this guy's my dude. He's been around the NHL for a long time. Jaromir Jagr came back to the NHL. I think he was playing in his home town. I think he's from anyways, he's from outside of the states, across the ocean, but he came back to he signed with Calgary Flames. I think probably a 1-year contract, because young team, got a lot of talent. I was reading the article, and it said these guys are fast skaters. It'll be hard for Jaromir Jagr to catch up with them, but his puck ability, his puck handling, could show a lot of potential with these young players. So he'll be a big asset to this Calgary Flames team, and he will be turning 46 in February of 2018. That's a long time, but I don't. they are predicting that it could be his final season. I can't believe that right now. It's just too early, and like I feel like the guy's gonna play hockey until he dies or beat Gordie Howe's record, because Gordie Howe played until he was 50, I believe.
Wow.
But I love Jaromir Jagr. I'm always it's always awesome to watch him when he's playing the Bruins. It's just amazing. Tough start for the Bruins. Not the 2 wins, 3 loss. It can only get better, I should say, as long as we stay healthy, and Bruce Cassidy fixes with a system that works. Maybe look around for a new goalie. Or do something with Tuukka Rask, motivate him, tell him to do something, or just other than that, I don't know.
Do you think there's any value if they try to trade him? Do you think they could get anything for him?
Well, like I was saying, there's not really a goalie out there right now. All I can think of is the trade deadline, which is around February, or find something in the coming off season. Otherwise, I would just work with him, to be honest, because he's our starter, and unless you want to give Khudobin a little bit more of minutes, but he's playing tonight because I know Tuukka Rask is not playing because of that collision situation. But hey, what are you gonna do? But that's my whole spiel about the Bruins. We'll be back to the neutral zone soon. I think November 2nd, which is a Thursday, I believe. But we'll get back and we'll give you the latest. We'll have my boys, James Quinn, Mike Payne. So yeah, that's pretty much my spiel.
We got some football on the slate.
Yeah, let's get into football, because I did want to start earlier in the season, but it is what it is. So New England Patriots are going on to week 7. That is, that's crazy. That's here already. Opening night, rough.
Mm-hmm.
Just problem is the defense. My problem is the defense. I've seen so many times Brady getting sacked. Danny Amendola scared me. I think it was the first night with a concussion. I had him on my lineup, but thank God he's all right.
So, the Patriots last week against the Jets protected Tom Brady pretty well, actually. They protected him in the pocket pretty well. It seems like this is a team that they're getting better, but it's going to take longer than most Bill Belichick Patriots teams to get to where they have to be. This defense seems like... I didn't know if it's Logan Ryan missing. I didn't know if that guy is that big of a communicator and that important to that team. And you were probably better off keeping Logan Ryan than Stephon Gilmore, if we're being honest.
I feel like one player helps everybody. I'm not saying there's I in team, but I'm just saying that one player makes a big difference to help the rest. Yeah,
I mean, it's like when we see Dante Hightower take a rest for a few snaps, that defense doesn't look the same, because he's I think he's captain of that defense, isn't he? That's his defense. But they're getting better.
Yeah, week to week, but it's still nerve-wracking to watch on the TV. You're picturing not a blowout, but a great amount of score a game. But it's just the first few minutes of the game, the Jets were up 7-0,
mm-hmm.
and it's just hard to see, because you usually see the Patriots get on the board first.
Yeah, and the Patriots always have an issue when they play in New York versus the Jets. I don't know what it is. They always have problems there, and when they play in Miami, those two spots are always problems for them every year. But as far as next week or the week after, week 8 or 9, Malcolm Mitchell can come off of the PUP list, I think, because he's injured, but he can come back. So that's going to be a big help offensively for these
Isn't
guys.
our bye week coming up though?
Is that after this week?
I think so.
Yeah, it's one of these, but I do know Malcolm Mitchell.
It's either next week or in 2 weeks.
It's something like that.
Not counting this week.
Yeah.
Not counting this week.
It's soon, but I know Malcolm Mitchell is going to come back soon.
Okay.
So that's going to be a huge help for Tom Brady because we saw last year how great those two were in connecting. And without Julian Edelman, I think he's going to really they need someone else. Like Brandon Cooks has been better and everyone's getting better. Hogan's been there, but it never hurts to bring someone else that you're familiar with back in.
Yeah.
This isn't like a bend or break defense like usual.
No,
it's just
no.
broken. It's
yeah.
just broken. And I don't really. There's no pass rush because they never really have a pass rush anyway.
It's just tough to watch because
It's so hard to watch.
You're just used to the defense being a lot better than this.
There's a lot of blown coverages.
Yes.
There are so many wide open guys. And it just kind of makes you want to scream.
I watched the Tampa Bay game in Florida, and I was just half of my family was half asleep because it was a long day. But I couldn't go to sleep because it was just a rough game.
It's awful. It was. I mean, I don't even know. I think they're trying to utilize the running game more, which would be great.
I felt bad for the kicker on Tampa.
Oh my God, Nick Folk, I think it was him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, listen, if he had made all of those kicks, I'm pretty sure the Patriots would have lost that game. So thanks for that.
He lost. He missed a low 40 or high 30-yard field goal kick.
Something he missed a chip shot kick.
Yeah, it was like
a 31-yarder or something like that.
It's like a 10-foot putt for me, or a 3-foot putt. It was.
It was nothing, and
I couldn't believe a professional kicker missed something like that.
Yeah,
in Tampa Bay.
In Tampa Bay, but kickers are so in their own heads. So if they miss one or two kicks, they're just psychologically. It's so much harder for them to get back into it because Tom Brady just kind of he has all his receivers and he'll throw and the very next play he can move on from it, but kickers are there by themselves in their own heads thinking, and there's no one really around them it's on them,
and they have
hard.
The majority of the game to practice it kicking.
Yeah.
It's go over there and just practice kicking, and then I'll call you in 20 minutes. Depending on how the defense does.
Yeah.
Offense.
So the Patriots play Atlanta this week in Foxborough in a matchup, a Super Bowl 51 matchup. I'm actually kind of scared about this.
But the Falcons haven't been, as good as the Patriots have been lately.
Really? I haven't watched much Falcons football, so I don't really know what their deal is.
I picked the Falcons week 3 or 4. Lost. Out of the pool. I'm I was just, I don't know. I was just.
I heard Matt Ryan kind of crashed back down to earth after his MVP season. He looks more normal now. That's what I've been hearing. I don't know.
So he got his reality check.
He got his reality check. Playing in a dome, I guess, isn't his thing. But
I'm still mad about that Chick-fil-A being closed on Sundays.
Oh my God, in that new arena?
Yeah.
It's funny. But they've been selling out their soccer games, which have been awesome. That's so nice to see. So they're open during those. But I don't know what their offense looks like, but I do know that their running game might be an issue for the Patriots to stop.
I mean, I'm not saying don't be scared, but it's. To be honest, I don't think it'll be as compared as to last.
It's
the
not
Super Bowl
high octane like it was last year. Okay.
Yeah. I honestly think if the Patriots defense is on game, they should be all right. And if Tom Brady doesn't get sacks or spikes the ball, I think they should be in good shape. Like you said, Matt Ryan's back to his reality. I personally think that Matt Ryan had that season of hype and glory, and I just think it's over. Like, I feel like every quarterback has that. Like, Peyton Manning had that. Derek Carr had that for a little while.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
true.
I just feel like that, like, every quarterback or player has that, you know, the mentality of having, you know, like,
They have like the
good-
one really
good
great season.
and then what happened to so and so? Like, you know what I mean?
They come crashing back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Like, there was
Oh.
that one year where Aaron Rodgers was just like big talk, big hype. Now look at him.
I mean, okay, so
he's not. He's out.
poor Aaron.
God
Rodgers.
damn it.
Poor Aaron Rodgers. Like, I like Aaron Rodgers, and I like
quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers, and I like the Green Bay Packers. Like, other than the Patriots, the Packers are like one of my favorite teams.
I like the Green Bay Packers too. I had Aaron Rodgers, and then I had to get a new
I had Derek Carr, and then he went down, but he's back. Kind of, I think.
Don't
I'm
you
not
like
really sure.
Deshaun Watson?
I don't have Deshaun. I don't think so. No, I have.
Who has Deshaun Watson?
Someone has to say that.
He's doing pretty good.
He's impressive. I can't. The Cleveland Browns passed on Deshaun Watson, and it makes me laugh every time.
It's
They
like,
passed on him. Like, what are you
you know,
doing?
you know how a lot of those quarterbacks come, like, Johnny Football was like a big star in the NCAA,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden the fame gets to his head, and like he just goes downhill. Or like who was the Gators quarterback? Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow comes from a great school, being a great quarterback, and then comes into the NFL, and then like a season or two, he's just gone. He's playing baseball. Apparently, if you want to do that, if you have
Pretty good at baseball.
multi talents, you know, you can go into the MLB, I guess. But you know, some of these quarterbacks just drift off the face of the earth.
It's like that with like every sport too.
But not Deshaun Watson. He's doing pretty well for himself right now.
He's doing well. It's all about the mentality, and the thing with Tim Tebow is he didn't really have the mechanics. Because I don't think Tim Tebow is like a cocky person. I just don't think he had the throwing mechanics to make it work.
No.
And I think that's what Johnny Manziel's a mess, so that's different. But
Well, he was a coke addict.
Yeah. So, but
He liked the snow.
I just don't think Tebow could throw as well as like they needed him to throw.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson has been running a lot, and he gets hit a lot though. So they need to be really careful.
Yeah, that is nerve. But he did that at Clemson.
He did it at Clemson, but Robert Griffin III did that his rookie year, and he looked great, and then he fell off a cliff. So they just have to be careful not. He needs to throw more just so that his body doesn't get like exhausted, or like he doesn't experience like a hit that just knocks him out for the year. Like they have to be careful with him.
I mean, I was pretty nerve-wracking when they played New England.
So good.
Because he played a hell of a game.
I loved him in college, and I was so upset that he went to Houston because like I wanted to root for him in the NFL.
We were talking about it. We're like,
and I was like, I legitimately thought Chicago should have taken him.
but I would have felt bad for him if he went to
Chicago.
If he went to Chicago, I would have felt very, very bad.
He's in actually probably best case scenario. He
needs to be successful and be with he needs to be with an successful organization. Jesus, I can't get my words out.
But speaking of the Chicago Bears, their quarterback, have you watched Mitch Trubisky?
Mitch Trubisky,
have you seen him play?
No, because I don't care for the Chicago Bears.
So I think it was like a week or two ago they were on, was it Thursday Night Football or Monday? They were on one of those. And they threw him in there, and I'm like, all right, what is this? Is he any good? He was okay. He's not bad. I didn't pay much attention because I was like, it was like in the background. And
as long as it's not Jay Cutler, I'm good.
Oh my God. That guy. Like,
too bad. I can't believe that guy came back.
He does not want to play football. He just likes his paycheck. It's so clear to like see it. He just doesn't care.
What do you think of Tony Romo in the box or the?
Tony Romo's my favorite announcer. The rest of them are clowns. He's good, because he's like, oh, this is what's about to happen, and then he knows exactly what's about to happen before it does.
I don't really pay attention to the play-by-play or commentators, but like the halftime report guys, I do enjoy Dan Patrick. I said that.
He's
to you,
your
but
guy.
He's my guy.
He's your guy. But no,
I fucking
Tony
love him.
Romo's been
I love
awesome.
him. All right, I'm gonna put this on explicit. All right. So around the NFL, there's a couple of news I want to talk about. One, let's get back to Aaron Rodgers real quick.
Collarbone injury, out for the year.
I had him in my fantasy. Last week was like a nightmare for me. Big nightmare. My kicker was on a bye.
Oh no.
And then I had to pick up a kicker. Someone else was on a bye. And then I'm watching the game, and then all of a sudden I see I'm watching Red Zone. All of a sudden I see Aaron Rodgers on the floor, and I'm just like, all right. Apparently I lost this week, and then this week I had to pick up a new quarterback, which stinks. So we'll see what happens. I think my fantasy season's been down the drain, but my hockey fantasy's pretty good.
This guy has the best hockey lineup I've ever seen in fantasy, and I'm not even kidding. I don't know how you managed it, but you did. In big props.
I feel like no one was paying attention.
It's probably true.
I was figuring I was actually looking up. You know how people just go down the list and it's just
They probably auto picked half the stuff.
No, but people joined. People joined and said, so I'm not gonna put names on the podcast here because I don't want to put people down. But one of the guys in the office goes, "So Dan, I saw you picked a lot of Bruins players." I was like, "Did you see the rest of my lineup? Did you? Kane, Stamkos, Shattenkirk, Pasternak. I didn't have Phil has. I shouldn't say name. Someone else has Bergie, but I want Martian. Quick. I'm stacked. Sharp. I'm trying to think. Fowler. Who else?
I can't even remember.
No, it's just one of those teams where you I don't know how I did it. I don't know.
It's like that rare fantasy miracle.
I have no idea. Yeah, one of those miracles that happened. But I have a pretty. If I pay attention every other day, I should be fine. If unlike last year where I didn't pay attention at all, then we're having problems. But if I pay attention every other day or once a week, I should be in good shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, good feet. I don't know.
Good shape.
Good shape. Yeah. I don't know why I said good shoes, but oh well. Also, I forgot to add here is another person on my fantasy football got injured. The week before was Odell Beckham.
Yeah, he's on mine too, and I felt so bad. And it's the same injury, kind of basically that Gordon Hayward has. And did you see the video of how he got injured, of Odell Beckham?
No, because I was just so mad that I threw my foot. I don't know. I'm Talar. Fantasy football's down the drain for me. I should not play. God is telling me not to play fantasy football. And I love it. I love fantasy football. I love survivor pool. But every single year I can't catch a break. I'm like that guy from the league. I'm I get the Sacco.
Oh man, no. So, Odell,
I want the Shiva. I want the Shiva. Shiva Kamini Shiva. I don't know the rest of it.
Oh jeez. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Like I said, this is gonna be a heated episode.
Yeah,
I told you that.
Yeah. Drink your monster. There you go. No. So when he got it looked like his cleat just kind of clung into the ground and his leg moved, but his ankle didn't, and so it snapped. And it didn't look bad. It looked fine. Gordon Hayward's looked bad.
Yeah.
This one looked fine, but he was screaming, and I felt awful. And I feel bad whenever athletes have injuries like that.
Have you ever seen Friday Night Lights, the movie?
Mm-hmm.
It's like Booby Miles when he was on the floor. He's screaming.
Yeah,
he's screaming.
You can tell that even Gordon Hayward was screaming. So
I saw that.
When a lot of these guys go through some of these injuries, Julian Edelman got up and hopped up and walked off.
Well, Julian Edelman's a boss.
He is, but I can't even imagine how bad a broken ankle must feel. That must feel just the worst.
I never had a broken ankle.
I haven't either, thank God. I just sprain everything all the time.
I slightly fractured something of mine, but we're good. We're good. We're all good here.
We're good.
Anything else you want to go over there? The NFL.
You know who's come back to earth? The Dallas Cowboys. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. It's just like a heads up. I do not like them.
I respect.
They're overhyped as hell.
I don't want to get into politics, but I really respect the owner.
I don't know, Danny. I don't know if I continue this with you anymore. No, really though. That team, they have like one winning season, and all of a sudden they're like the greatest team on earth, even though they haven't won anything in like years before I was born. I don't even know.
They were good before the Patriots got good, I think.
Yeah, but they haven't been good in over a decade.
They were good in the
easily.
90s, I think.
Yeah, yeah. But they haven't been good in over a decade, and just because you have one good season doesn't make up for the fact that you've sucked for so long. So like they kind of look more normal this year.
What's up with the Giants?
Oh God! Oh, they have no receivers left. None. There's no one left on that team, and Eli Manning has sucked like he always.
I was watching like bloopers of a press conference. Like, one of the guys asked a question, and he goes, "We need to win a beep game." I
think they won last week, didn't they?
I think they won a game, but
the
Giants
Denver,
Giants are usually they're pretty pickable in the expert picks.
Yeah, but I mean, Eli's been like very awful. No receivers.
They used to be good, I guess.
I think their head coach, he has a lot to answer. He has a lot of questions he has to answer. Like, ever since he took over, it's just been weird there. Like, the Odell drama is there, and I guess that defense was supposed to be really good this year. It's just not a good defense this year. I don't know. They're probably going to end up out of the playoffs and just picking top 10 in the draft. And they should probably pick a receiver or something. Because they seem to be running out of them very quickly. But I don't know what's going to happen with them. I don't know if there's a definitive Kansas City's like the team this year, but I just don't know if that's legit to go into the playoffs. Like, I don't know if they can sustain that, because they never seem to sustain that.
No, not at all.
I think they play tonight.
You know who else? Came back? Philly.
Oh, the Eagles. I forgot about them. They've been good. They've been low key, like very good this year.
I know. Yeah. So when I was in Florida, we were at the hotel bar, and that Sunday, it was NFL Sunday. The bartender had his Philly Eagles. I was
Jersey?
like, look at this guy with his Philly Eagles jersey. But they've been showing some potential lately.
Carson Wentz is good.
Yeah.
Good quarterback. Good pick. The LA Rams.
Yeah.
Actually, they look good. I'm not gonna lie. They have that good young defense. Jared Goff seems to slowly be.
I feel like a lot of these teams that you don't see much hype about just coming out of nowhere lately.
Yeah. And just I'm just gonna shift to the NBA super quick.
That's fine.
Jeremy Lin last night also got hurt, and I don't know if you saw that. So like, I hope he gets better too. So he went up for a layup and he came down, and he like ruptured his patella tendon, and he held his knee. And he looked at the bench and he started screaming, I'm done. Like, immediately knew something was wrong with him. Like, opening night for Brooklyn. So you just hope this isn't a trend that continues. So, like, think about it. Odell Beckham, Aaron Rodgers, Gordon Hayward, Jeremy Lin. Like, these are some pretty notable names in the sports world that have gotten injured. And Derek Carr. And you just really hope that that's not the case going forward. LeBron never gets hurt, of course.
Didn't LeBron have something wrong with his
He twisted his ankle. He's fine.
All right.
He's
He's just a baby back bitch.
Yeah. No, you would never wish anything upon anybody, though.
Going back to the Celtics, what's up with this elbow call and then calling it back on the elbow situation last night? Oh, I texted you right away. Then I was like to the ref.
Oh,
made
the Marcus Smart call.
Yeah.
He
Was it an elbow?
So he set a screen, and Matthew Dellavedova ran into it, and I think he may have either he lifted his arm. I don't know what it is, but Smart, who's kind of a well-known flopper anyway, so we kind of have to take this with a grain of salt. But it did look legitimately like he maybe got hit in the face, so he fell.
It looked like a buck that did it.
Yeah, it was Dellavedova, and so he got up and he got really mad, and so Dellavedova got a personal foul, and Marcus Smart got a technical, which is ridiculous. But I low-key kind of like the fire that he has. Like, he's a starter now, so him and Jalen have, like, that emotion, and they're going to need to, like, inject it every night into these guys. Give them, like, hype them up, like, every game. If you come out, like, really hot and really strong, like, you're going to have a much better chance of winning those games.
Yeah.
While you're still learning each other. So that's actually really encouraging that, like he's feisty and he's, like, wants to get in people's faces.
It kind of reminded me of the little feistiness between Kelly and Kelly last NBA playoffs. It was against
Washington.
Yeah, Washington Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
Washington. So
Kelly and Kelly, yeah.
Yeah.
How often is that gonna happen? Kelly versus Kelly, my goodness.
With Kelly.
So yeah, we obviously hope that the rest of the Bruins get healthy, that the Celtics get healthy, and that these guys can start. Even the Bruins, I think, building chemistry. I think a lot of those young guys, right, have to do that as well. And you just hope both teams have young coaches, young players, and you just kind of hope that they can come together quickly, win some games, and both can. The Celtics, I expect in the playoffs. I hope the Bruins can, get in there. They made a really good push against Ottawa last season.
Yeah.
Which I think they were like 5 games or something.
They gave Ottawa a fight.
Yeah, I think everyone really appreciated that.
And what's funny about Ottawa, like, looking back at the schedule, I remember Ottawa's one of their last games of the regular season.
Yeah, there you go.
So, but I really hope they don't play them in the playoffs again. But like we said numerous times, like the neutral zone says numerous times, playoffs is totally a different game. Like the NBA, it's a totally different game.
It is.
Same thing with all sports. Same thing with the
baseball right now.
Yeah.
Can we touch upon it real quick?
Yeah.
The Yankees right now. Well, okay, I understand. I understand the whole Boston hates New York thing, but, like, I just want to take a timeout and just say if they win and go to the World Series, I don't know how you can't appreciate the job that Joe Girardi has done.
Cubs still alive.
With that. The Cubs, I mean, if the Cubs come back with that.
Cubs are still alive.
Cubs
are still alive.
I feel like baseball's been actually pretty interesting for it being, like, not as exciting to watch. The storylines have been pretty interesting.
Well, if whoever goes into the final two, I'm rooting against the American League. I'm going for the National.
So what is that? That's Dodgers, right?
That's either L.A. or Chicago.
That's L.A. or Chicago. If it's L.A. and New York, that's, like, the 2 biggest markets in the United States.
That would be an interesting series.
That would be interesting.
I used to enjoy watching the electric chair on Barstool last year when Big Cat was just, like, off his, like, recliner. Actually, he was on a motor scooter last year. But they're doing pretty well. They're actually on ESPN now.
They are. They got a deal on ESPN.
That's awesome.
That's notable. That's great for them.
Yeah.
So
let's quit. We got some time left. We'll take a couple of minutes left. So we have a new segment coming into the C.O.C. City the Champions podcast. Not just talking sports, but we came up with an idea of doing a theme every episode. So what we decided, I'll unbutton my shirt. Don't worry, I'm not ladies. I'm not taking my shirt off. But anyways, so we decided to wear each week is a theme. So we decided to do 90s this week. And as you can see on this, if you're watching Facebook Live or listening, Talar has the Toon Squad T-shirt with all the characters. if you're familiar with Space Jam, I hope you are familiar with it.
Better be familiar with it.
And childhood.
Childhood in general. if you're
Childhood
familiar
in
with
general. And myself, I happen to found a Friends T-shirt, which I'm obsessed with. I watch every night before I go to bed, at least one episode.
We're both pretty obsessed
So
with that show.
we're gonna talk like maybe 5 minutes of 90s, and yeah, this is our theme each week. We're just doing a new segment, and we hope like throw out ideas if you're listening or watching, and so we're starting with 90s. I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 91, so I've grown up with, Cat Dog, Rocket Power, Rugrats, Friends. I'll be honest, I didn't really watch Friends until I was in college because
same.
Friends was more of an adult type.
Yeah.
And you get the jokes now. Like
Oh yeah, and they're
unless
hilarious. Some
yeah.
of them.
And the Disney Channel, like Brink, Johnny Tsunami, I don't know. Xenon, Alley Catch Strike.
Smart House was one of
Smart
my
House.
favorites.
I was actually looking at a bunch of like an article and say, hey, look at your Disney stars between then and now, and I was, wow, and it's just crazy like how time flies. But since I'm wearing Friends, I feel like that's my ultimate favorite. I always love the Joey jokes. Chandler in like season 1 through like maybe 5, he was hilarious. But once he married Monica, and like he just got very dull. like I was watching an episode today where Phoebe's on a date with Monica's other half, and Chandler was just getting very jealous. It's very dull. He's very dull after.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh, this is Monica's soulmate.
Yeah.
Chandler's like, what? I literally married her. What are you talking about?
Yeah. My favorite episode that I watch all the time is when Joey's taking a nap in Rachel's bed and he finds
In
her.
the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes. Rachel goes, hey Joey, what are you doing? Sweeping. Why does it turn you on? Joey, did you eat my face cream? What if I sweep the chimney? What's the matter? The vicar won't be home for hours. She goes, Joey, where'd you learn that word? You tell me. Zelda? I gotta do that. I gotta find a dirty book and then...
Oh my god, he finds Little Women. Oh my god, I can't. Or I know one of the ones we've quoted before is after Monica and Chandler get engaged. I think it's that one. Or it's one of them, and then Joey goes and wears his Knicks jersey and stuff.
I almost bought a
Like
Porzingis
19.
jersey the
And
other
he's
day.
He's like, I can be 19. He's like, sup with the whack PlayStation, sup. And Chandler's like, oh my god.
Just don't hurt. Take whatever you want. Just don't hurt me. Come on, am I 19 or what? Yes, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the dumbest that you are 19.
Yeah.
That you look 19. He goes, how old? Come on, really? Young. You're a man-child. Now go put some clothes on, and please keep my underwear. Oh, thanks.
Oh man, it's probably one of the most quotable shows ever. And I was watching which one I caught last night? I caught the one where Ross says Rachel at the altar.
When he was marrying Emily.
I hate Emily. She's like my most hated character in that show. She's so annoying.
I hate Janice.
Oh my god, I just think she's hilarious.
God, it's the voice.
That's the point of it.
Voice.
It's the point of it.
It's the voice.
So funny.
He goes on a double date with Joey, and Joey goes, he recognizes the drink name, and he goes, Janice. Janice. I was just laughing.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah. Or Joey and Janice's Day of Fun. Because he wants him to like her.
Janice's Day of Fun.
And Joey's like, I can't. I tried. I can't do this. Oh man, poor guy. Oh, what a that iconic.
Oh yeah, and
But I was looking through some of my stuff yesterday, and not yesterday, but like a few weeks ago, and I found apparently in my house we have a soap dispenser, but it's a Space Jam soap dispenser.
really,
So I have a Michael Jordan. I have Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny on a soap dispenser somewhere in my basement, like made out of glass.
that's awesome.
And I'm like, this is so clutch. It's like the coolest thing. In that movie, I caught it on TV like a month or two ago. My God, how good is that movie?
I love that movie.
Oh, it's so good. And they talked about like doing a remake with either LeBron or Steph Curry.
No,
And,
don't remake
please don't
that.
touch it. Please just let Michael Jordan just hold on to that film.
Yeah,
It's so
Don't-
good.
That's his one fame there. Besides
He's
making
pretty
the
good
Jor-
at basketball.
No, I mean
He's okay.
that's his one movie fame. I correct myself. That is one of his movie fame
Yeah, that's
moments.
his most iconic. I would
Besides,
say.
like, he makes a lot of money doing the Air Jordan endorsements, and he probably
He has his own team, so
yeah,
you know,
he has-
there's that.
yeah. So he's doing pretty well for
He's
himself.
okay.
Yeah,
I'd say he's okay.
yeah.
He's doing pretty well.
But Larry Bird was awful in that movie.
Oh my God! You know what? For years, I had no idea. When I was little, I had no idea
Larry
who that
Bird-
was.
Larry Bird was awful in that movie.
And then I grew up, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Larry Bird.
He's awful in that
I mean,
movie.
he's not exactly an actor. They're basketball
No, but-
players.
What killed me was Bill Murray.
Oh my God!
Michael, the NBA needs new players, and he's like trying to convince him that he can go into the NBA. And then he comes to Toontown or whatever. And he's
Yeah.
like, he plays like 30 seconds. He's like, I retire.
He's like, I can't do it anymore. And Mike's like, are you sure? And he's like, that's it. My knees, like, I can't take it. I'm like, all right, man.
The
Yeah,
only
it was
thing, the only
hilarious.
thing I don't like about him in that movie is when he's wearing the White Sox hat.
I don't even remember.
I'm
I
a Cubby-
think Cubs fan.
I'm a Cubbies guy. I'm a Cubbies.
He is but in
He
real life,
is-
he is a Cubbies guy.
Yeah, he
He's
is
like
a
a
Cubby-
massive Cubs fan.
Because when he went to the celebrity golf tournament, he had like full on Cubs like pants, like John Daly style.
If you see him after, I think last year's World Series, I'm pretty sure he partied really hard with all the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah,
It was so funny.
it wouldn't pass me that he did that.
I mean, I would.
No,
Shit.
I know that. You probably would. Yeah, you probably party with the Celtics.
I would party so hard with all
What
the
was that?
Celtics.
Were you partying with them back in 2007? Was it 2007 or 2008?
2008.
Eight,
Oh,
sorry.
7 to 8, like that season.
All right,
Um,
I was close.
That was my first season, like, where I legitimately became a Celtics fan.
Really?
Yeah, so I come from a really, like, strong Celtics background of a household, so to speak. Like, my whole family were all crazy, like, extended family were all crazy Celtics fans, but the Celtics were so bad for so long, and we never really, I at least, didn't really pay attention to them. And my mom was flipping channels one day, and we landed on, like, a Celtics game, and I remember I saw Leon Poe, I remember this, and he was hitting a mid-range shot, and I'm like, wait, they're winning, what is this, what's going on? And I love basketball anyway. So we kept watching it, and I, like, fell in love with them. And when they won the title, I was so excited, but I feel like if they win the title, like, in the next 2-3 years, I'll be even more
Excited.
stoked because, like, I legitimately
So when
have
they
been
won
a
the
fan forever
when they
now.
won the championship back in 2008, you weren't as excited as you are now.
I was really excited, but I feel
So
like I
if
would
your
be
mom
more
didn't,
excited.
so if your mom didn't flip that channel, you wouldn't have the center court show.
I may have, I don't know, like, maybe I would have heard so much about them that I would have, like, started watching them, but that's when she started to tell me that when she came to this country that, like, they used to watch the Celtics every night, and, like, Larry Bird was her favorite, and my great-grandma used to sit and drink whiskey and yell at the Celtics all the time. Like, it was, like, an experience, and she had never told me that before.
Whiskey and screaming. Those
That's
are good.
right.
That's a good combo right
Good
there.
combo. Great family values.
What kind of whiskey?
I don't know, man. I wasn't even alive back then.
Never asked.
Never asked.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's just call it Johnny Walker and call it a day. Probably what it was.
I'm more of a Jack Daniels guy. You want to hear a funny story about a Jack Daniels story before we sign off?
Huh? What's up?
All right, so I was like, for hard liquor, I used to drink Jack, and I tried Honey Jack one night, and I mixed it with Dr. Pepper, and I was at I think a party or a birthday party, And so I was drinking Jack and Honey Jack and Dr. Pepper all night, which everyone thought was gross, nasty, but I enjoyed it. So like the night goes on, I'm like hammered. And so I started quoting. You ever seen Big Daddy?
Yeah.
I quoted like maybe like 25% of the movie, like just imitating, like trying to do the motions too. And then like everyone at the party thought that was hilarious. This is like before this whole situation, and that next morning, like I did not puke, did nothing bad. I crack open a beer, and they nickname me. They go, "Yo, Big Daddy just cracked open a beer." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still drunk," so I figured the Bud Light would help.
There you go. That's how you beat it. Just keep drinking. If you never stop drinking, it doesn't hurt as much.
Thank God I wasn't driving that day.
There you go. Don't drink and drive, kids. Or anyone, ever.
Absolutely not. Don't do
Please
it.
don't do that.
Don't do
Sleep
it.
in like your friend's bathtub or a stranger's bathtub if you're at a random house party. Just don't drive.
Or an air mattress if they have it.
Literally, or their
Usually
front lawn, whatever.
Usually my friends have air mattresses and help me out. They don't leave me under the table on the front lawn, but
Couches, whatever.
but
Floor.
I'm always so that was a great episode. We had lots to talk about. Let's do this very soon. Let's not wait August to October. Let's do it a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
maybe beginning of next month.
Lots to talk about now.
Lots
Everyone's
to talk
back.
about because everyone's back. Sadly, the Red Sox are gone. But they'll be back.
New manager, new everything. We'll talk
new
about
manager. John Farrell is gone, but we'll stay in the loop with the Red Sox.
We'll stay in the loop.
We'll be better with the Red Sox. We'll give you Red Sox fans some more info on the Red Sox, even though we're not diehard fans. But we're gonna sign off. I'm your host Danny Boy Lax, and alongside is Talar, and we are signing off. And enjoy your weekend. Go Celtics. Go Bruins. Go Patriots. And have a good night, folks.
I'll be there.